How to teach your child to read tips. Have you ever attempted to teach your child to read? If you have, then you'd agree with me that it takes more than just being a parent to get it done rightly, given the frustration that often precedes when it feels like you aren't making any headway. Whatever the case may be, here are some of the ways to teach your child to read. Songs and rhythms. As we all know, songs are made of words and rhythms, which both combine to produce musical sounds. Now, what if I told you that songs could help you in teaching your child how to read? Well, that's right, especially with those nursery rhymes like Baa Baa Black sheep have you any wool, and so on. Other than nursery rhymes, you can get them to learn from any of their favorite songs on TV, theater, wherever. However, you need to be cautious about what kind of phonetics you want your child to learn. For instance, if you're an American, you may not want your child to learn her phonetics from British songs, and vice versa. Word cards. Another way to teach your child how to read is by making cards with words written on each one of them. You can either place most of those cards in their room or their playground. The logic behind this strategy is always to keep their minds locked to words everywhere they go. Once they keep seeing these word cards everywhere, it will spur them to attempt calling each of those words when they come across it. This will help in speeding up their reading capacity. Plus, from time to time, you could randomly go into their room and ask the child to read those words out loud for you, in exchange for rewards like chocolates and so on. And speaking of rewards, teach by barter. Another way to get your child into learning how to read quickly is by promising them rewards, if they make an effort, and are successful in reading out the words correctly. Put differently, you'll have to make them understand the gain that awaits their effort. Given that children, as adults, are very eager to receive gift items, they are going to try their very best and read. Once the child gets it right, reward him and challenge the kid to do more. By so doing, it will only be a matter of time before they'll become virtually familiar with every single word you've given them to read. Be patient. Sometimes, parents or tutors need to understand that perhaps the reason why a child is finding it so hard to be good at reading is that you are not patient enough with the kid. Honestly, it's high time we all understood that children are all born with different IQs. And that's why some may be fast at learning how to read, while the others may not. For those who aren't so good at reading, it is your job to be as patient as possible with them. Trust me, with time, they'll get along with the rest, and will always live to appreciate how gentle you were on them when they tried and failed. That is why one of the best ways to get a child to learn how to read is by being patient with him, her. Word games. Playing word games with your child, perhaps in the car, on the road to shopping, wherever, can tremendously help your child to learn how to read. Word games involve any game that often calls for your kids to identify words, think, and perhaps arrange spellings in the way it should be. There are 1,001 board games like this that you can find in kids' stores and so on. One of the most prominent word game entails packing toys of various forms and sizes and asking the child to pick out from the box any toy, animal, or object you call. If they don't get it right the first time, you mustn't scold them. Instead, mildly correct them and ask them to pick another one. Later on, you can call back the same toy they failed before until they finally get it correct. Technology. Today, life couldn't be any more comfortable thanks to the advent of technology. However, if you play your cards right, you can use your gadgets to help your child learn how to read. You can either do this using your iPad, mobile device, or PC to expose them to videos that will help them know how to read. For instance, there are tons of online tutors who make videos that help in teaching a child how to read on platforms like YouTube. Other than that, there are applications and software that can also get the job done. So from time to time, to make the whole learning how to read thing a fun-filled activity for the child, it would be a great idea to allow them to do so from the experience of a gadget. Kids love gadgets, and it would excite them more to learn how to read from those gadgets of yours, rather than the old-fashioned method of books and chalkboards. Read together. Last but not the least on the ways you can get your child to read, is by always reading together. You can either do these during the weekends or daily, whenever you're back from work. Doing this at night before the child sleeps every day would be the most ideal of ways to accomplish your mission. Reading together with the child will not only help the kid learn quickly how to read but will also allow the child to develop a special bond or passion towards reading. Once this bond is created, then you can confidently kiss the days of your child not being able to read goodbye. In a nutshell, the above are some of the few methods you can use in teaching your child how to read. But, if you want your child to learn even faster, you need to check this out, http://www.mommiesbedtimestories.com.